Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we've got something rather daunting for you to have a look at. This puzzle on screen is called Cross Purposes, and it's by Tallcat, who is a wonderful, wonderful and very clever constructor. And I have read the rules for this, and I have absolutely no clue how this is possible. How this has a unique solution. This is genuinely one of those puzzles where you just look at it and go, what on earth? How could you get out of bed and even think this was possible? But Tallcat has apparently got out of bed and thought just that, and it's our job to solve it. So I'll read you the rules of this one in just a moment. But before I do that, I have some things to announce. The first is, I want to say thank you to all those of you who joined us yesterday on our premiere of the puzzle, of Zeta puzzle called MIA. That puzzle took me about an hour and 45 minutes to solve. It was breathtaking, beautiful, bamboozling, and brutal. All at the same time, and and it was lovely to have so many of you join me on my birthday. I've never been wished happy birthday so often. I've never been instructed to eat so much cake. I can report I ate some cake, but not nearly as much as you would have liked. I would have been the size of a house had I done so. But yeah, it was great fun, and yeah, thanks again for joining us on that one. Now, next, birthdays. Today is the birthday, I think, of Ethan. Ethan, I think you've turned 32 today. Your partner Faye told me that. So I hope you've had a brilliant day. And also to Sunitha. Sunithi. I've missaid your name already. I'm sorry, Sunithi. Sunithi, your son Araf has been in touch and said that you would appreciate some birthday wishes. So happy birthday to you too. And I hope you both have had lots of cake. Oh, I haven't put my phone on silent. That's not a good sign. Let me do that right now. That is not an important message either. So that can go on its stand. And we can continue. So what else? Actually, I want to give a shout out to Renee Loader. Now, Renee wrote a lovely email to us the other day because she was so pleased that she'd solved her first Fistamobile puzzle. Now, this was the puzzle that we did earlier in the week called, we called the video the Fistamobile thermometers, and the puzzle itself was called Dandelion. And Renee was reporting that basically when she started watching the channel, there was no way she could even have thought about finishing a Fistamobile puzzle, but through watching the videos and picking up the tips and the tricks, now she can, and she has. So Renee, very well done. Your email made us smile, and congratulations. Now, congratulations also to a whole coterie of you who have managed to get through the doctoral Sudoku pack over on Patreon at the moment. This is the Japanese Sum Sudoku pack, which has over 35 puzzles in it, I think, and the following have managed to successfully complete it. So Abhinav Jain, Brian Chapman, Kishan Vagadia, Robbie the Belgian, Barry Spatz, Mark Glazebrook, Daniel Schneider, Demetrius Danelakis, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Demetrios. I apologise if I'm not. And also, I need to say well done to Ferdinand Stam, and also sorry, Ferdinand. I should have read your name out a couple of days ago and failed. Mea culpa. And hopefully it's okay now. I've put that right now. But Ferdinand Stam definitely finished it several days ago. Seriously quick solver. Now, that's all I've got to tell you, so I think I can procrastinate no longer. I'm going to read you the rules to Cross Purposes, and then we're going to have a go at this puzzle. And you will not believe it when I finish reading the rules, because you'll be like, what? Is that all we get? Well, it is. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. For each set of 4 cells touched by the same circle, the sum of 3 of the cells must equal the 4th cell. Not all circles have been given. We'll come back to that in a minute. Cells separated by a king's move in chess cannot contain the same digit, and in cages, digits must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage. So those 2 cells sum to 13, those sum to 12, those sum to 11. Around these circles, the way this works is, imagine we've got 1, 2... Oh, hang on. Why is that on funny mode? I don't know. Let's go back to normal mode. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Then 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. So this would be a possible way of filling in the digits surrounding this circle. But this is where it gets perplexing to me. Because even if you knew that the total you were heading up towards on this circle was 6, you can still organise the 2 by 2 in in a whole variety of ways. There's no given digits to help us here. And I've just realised that actually this doesn't even have to add up to 6 even, because on this particular circle it looks like it's the only one, but you could do that perhaps. 1 plus 1 plus 2 does equal 4. So I think I don't think that's illegal under the terms of the rules. So yeah, I mean, this is bonkers, isn't it? Now the king's move, what that means is, imagine this was a 1. A king in chess in this cell could jump to those 2 cells. Therefore, in this puzzle, this would be impossible. This cell and this cell could not be a 1. Because if they were, they would be a king's move apart, and that would breach the terms of the instructions. Now, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video. Good luck. I'm wishing myself good luck too. You will know by the length of the video whether I've managed to solve it, and B, how long it's taken me. I'm guessing quite a long time. But yeah, the way to play is to click the link under the video. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And what on earth do we do here? I am tempted to say that this must be about it must be about geometry somehow, mustn't it? It must be. Well, this 2 by 2 is the only one that can't add up to at least 6. So in every single other 2 by 2, there must be a digit that is at least 6 as the sum digit. Right, I can see something. I have got something. Right, I am going to claim. Actually, that is interesting. I am going to claim something now. Look at these cells. In fact, let's just look at column 4 and 5 for a moment. One of these 2 by 2s must be a 2, 3, 4, 9 combination. And the reason for that is that imagine that was not the case. Well, if that wasn't the case, we would have to be able to put 1 into each of these 2 by 2s. Because if there was no 1 in them, if there's no 1 in a sum of 3 digits, where the digits have to be different, then the digits have to be 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, because otherwise they would be a minimum of 2, 3, 5, which would add to 10. So if we're saying that we don't want there to be a 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 in these cells, we've got to put 1 into every 2 by 2, and that means we've got 1, 1 there, second one there, a third one there, that's 3 1s, and that means I've put 3 1s in 2 columns of the Sudoku. Now, because of the rules of Sudoku, that will be broken, so we must not do that. So one of these 2 by 2s does not have 1 in it, and therefore it must be 2, 3, 4 adding to 9. Now the same is true in this configuration across rows 4 and 5. So because the logic is directly analogous, obviously we can't have 3 1s in 2 rows of the grid either. So that means that, if I just highlight this for a moment, I'll do the column in blue. That means that we know there's a 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 in the columns. We know there's a 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 in the rows. So I suspect that means that this has to be 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 in the middle. Now, if this was true, what would it mean? Okay, here is a point that's interesting. At least it's interesting to me. Some of the things I talk about at dinner parties are frowned upon, but never mind. 2, 3, 4 adding to 9. What would happen if this was 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 as well? That is impossible, because now in this column I have a big problem. because I've not put the digits 2, 3, 4 or 9 into those 6 cells, so I'd have to put them all into those 3 cells. I can't put 4 digits into 3 cells without having a Schrödinger cell. I haven't got any Schrödinger cells in this puzzle, so that doesn't work. So that means that exactly one of the blue cells is 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, and exactly one of the orange cells is 2, 3, 4 adding to 9. And that means, that means I've broken the puzzle. Well, okay, my instinct was totally wrong. Right, but I've still learned something here. My instinct's totally wrong because if we can't have two 2x2s containing 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, and we can't, that means that if this was the correct configuration, these blues would have to contain 1, and these oranges would have to contain 1. And that doesn't work, because now, where do I put 1 in box 5? And the answer is there, and that's in a 12 gauge. Now I can't make that 11, so this is just incorrect. What this is telling us, somewhat surprisingly, is that the central 2x2 is not 2, 3, 4 adding to 9. So exactly 1. I was about to say 1 or more, but it is exactly 1. One of these 2x2s contains 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, and one of these 2x2s contains 2, 3, 4 adding to 9. And that, what does that mean then? I'm just gonna pencil mark that, if you don't mind, just so I can stare at it for a second or two, he says optimistically. So if this is 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, obviously this doesn't have to be here, it could be here, this over here could be here, so that's why I'm just putting these in as placeholders, just to think about what this means. Now, we therefore know, well, one thing I definitely know is that that's got 1s in it, because we know that there can only be 1, 2, 3, 4 adding to 9 2x2 in each colour. So this one definitely is not 2, 3, 4 adding to 9, so it has got 1 in it. And if this was the configuration, we would also be able to tell that those both had 1s in them, which would put 1 in one of those and 1 in one of these. Now, don't know. My gut reaction here is that this is something to do with the number of low digits in these rows. Because whenever you get a 2x2, whenever you get two 2x2s with the same digits in them, that digit is going to get thrown into the other column or row. But it's also going to get thrown out of the other 2x2. So, hang on, what is this doing? So this is doing, sorry, I realise I've got totally silent now. Well, okay, I've got something. Don't know how important it is, but it is interesting to me again. Right, that you can't have a 6 now as the total on any of these circles. And that's because if you did, imagine you did have 1, 2, 3 and 6. Well, then the problem with that is that you've got common 2 3s between these 2x2s. And therefore this 2x2 could not contain 2 or 3. And that's impossible then, because the minimum it could be would be 1, 4, 5. And that adds up to 10. Yeah, okay, this is important. This is important. I don't quite know how to do this yet, but there is some configuration here of 1s, 2s and 3s that is not, well, there's probably lots that are not going to work. So, again, this is slightly complicated by the fact that I don't know where the 2, 3, 4 and 9s go. You see, yeah, okay, here's something. What you can't do, I can't put 2s into both of those, because then I get the same problem I had with 1s in box 5. If I put 2s up here and 2s down here, the 2 in column 6 is in one of those 3. And if I put 2s here and 2s here, the 2 in row 6 is in one of those 3, one of these 3 here. And the common digit is, or the common position is there, which would require a 10 into this cell. So I can't put 2s into both of these. But presumably I could put 2 into one of them, because let's say this had a 2 in it, then I'd have 2 in here. Providing this didn't have a 2 in it, if this didn't have a 2 in it, then there would be no pressure on 2s. But if this didn't have a 2 in it, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so one way of thinking about this, I think, is to say, consider a 2 by 2. How many low digits are in the 2 by 2 in this puzzle? And the answer is at least 2. Because if there was only 1, it would be 1, 4, 5, adding to 10, which we know is impossible as a minimum. So every 2 by 2 contains exactly, this is it. So every 2 by 2 contains exactly 2 low digits, or more, could have more. Although, no, can't have more now, because we worked out we can't have a 6. No, so yeah, we can't have a 6. So every 2 by 2 contains exactly 2 low digits. So we can't have 3 low digits. And therefore we know that in the blues, we've got 2 low digits in this one, which are 2 and 3. So what we cannot do in any other 2 by 2 in columns 4 and 5 is to have a 2 and a 3 in another 2 by 2, because if we did, this one could only have 1 low digit in it, and that's not allowed because it will add up to at least 1, 4, 5. So, not add up to 1, 4, 5, but it would be a sum of at least 1 plus 4 plus 5, which is 10. So, I know I'm taking ages to understand this, but I hope you'll forgive me. But I think I'm getting somewhere now. Now I can say that, hang on, let me think about what this means. So I've definitely got 2s and 3s in here. I've definitely got a 1 in here. And okay, so on this configuration, I know I've got to have 1s in those as well, although obviously this could be over here. So let me, now, if this had 3 in it, if this was 1, 3, these would, this is it. I'm starting to slot together in my mind how tallcat has conceptualized this puzzle. The point is now that each of these 2 by 2s contains a unique set of the 2 of the 3 digits. So this has 2, 3. We've worked out we can't repeat 2, 3 over here. Now, if this was 1, 3, therefore, what do I have to put in these two? These would both have to be 1, 2s. And that doesn't work. And it wouldn't, and it's nice because it doesn't matter if this is upside down. If I move this down here and try and put the 1s, 2s up here instead, it's the same point. The trouble comes in box 5. Because in box 5, the problem we've now got relates to the digit 2. Because in this row, we've got to put the 2 in here, well, one of those, and in this column, we've got to put the 2 in one of those, so the 2 gets put there. So this is it. Okay, so this is huge, because all of this means that we cannot put 3 in here. We have to put 2 in here. Now, if we have to put 1, 2 in here, and we do, then this and this, although it could be the other way around, we need to bear this in mind, each have to be 1, 3, because they have to not overlap in 2 positions with 2 low digits with another box. And just to prove that to you, if you're not convinced, imagine this was 1, 2 and this was 1, 2, then this couldn't contain a 2 and it couldn't contain a 1, so its minimum sum would be 3, 4, 5, and that adds up to 12. It just doesn't work. So this is 1, 3. Now we've got to bear in mind that these 2 by 2s could be flipped in either direction. Oh yeah, I've got it. I've got a digit now. It's taken me 21 minutes, but I have got a digit, because now look at, there is a common digit between these 2 by 2s. This is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful idea. Where does 3 go? In the middle box. The answer is there. That's the only place it can go. That's a 9. I've got 2 digits. Ah, that's just sensational. That's just sensational. I can almost understand how tallcat got up in the morning and thought about this. Because if you had the idea, what I could never have done is to execute it like that, because that's just supreme. But that is beautiful. Hang on. Yes. So now this is correct as well. Remember, we proved there had to be a 2, 3, 4, 9, 2 by 2, which wasn't in the middle, in blue. Well, it can't be there now, because this is a 9. So that is 2, 3, 4, 9. So this can't have a 2 in it, because we've got 2's common for those in those 2 by 2s. And it can't add up to 9, so it's not 1, 3, 5. So this is 1, 3, 4 adding up to 8. And that might not give me another digit, but it certainly makes me feel like I'm making progress. So now, no, I thought I'd broken it then. I was like, I can't put 2 low digits into this one. I was thinking of 3 and 4 as being low, but that's okay. So 4 is here by Sudoku. There is no 3 or 4 in this 2 by 2. So this is either 1, 2, 5 adding to 8 or 1, 2, 6 adding to 9. And rather weirdly, that doesn't seem to be resolved. Okie dokie. Bobbins then. I think I'm missing something there, because I feel like this must be resolved by what we've just proved. But I can't see why it is. Now, this is where, the problem is, if I start to use these, I've got to remember these could be the other way round. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just flash these like that, to try and remind myself that this 2, 3, 4, 9 could be here, and this 1, 3, whatever it is, could be over here. Yeah, see, this is immediately I can see why I'm going to have trouble here, because look, I've got a 4 in this domino and I've got a 4 in there, but the 4 might be over here. But this, oh no, this is okay. This is okay. Right, the point, I think, and this works either way round, is that the 4s align in rows 4 and 5. So consider this 2 by 2 and ask what its makeup is. Well, it can't have a 2 in it because there's a 2 in here and there's a 2 in here. And it can't have a 4 in it. So what can it have in it? Well, it must be 1, 3, 5 adding to 9. And the beautiful thing about that is that is exactly the same logic if this 2, 3, 4, 9 was over here. Because if this 2, 3, 4, 9 was over here, it would align with the 4 still, lock a 4 out of this, which would then be over here, and force exactly the same consequence. So this is 1, 3, 5, 9. This, oh look at this. Right, I know what this is doing. Because now 9s have aligned in row 4 and 5. So where does 9 go in row 6? Well, it's got to go in one of those two cells, but it can't go next to itself by a king's move. So that's a 9. This is not a 9 up here. This 13 cage is now not 4, 9, so that's 5, 8 or 6, 7. But what I mustn't do is eliminate anything by reference to this, because this could be over here. Oh, yeah, and okay. So getting this 9 resolves this. Because now this can't add up to 9, yet it's not got a 3 or a 4 in it. So it can't be 1, 2, 6. So its only remaining option is 1, 2, 5 adding to 8. That means... Oh, I mustn't do this. I was about to say that means 5s are aligning, and they are aligning. But that would put a 5 over there. But the problem is this could be over here. So the 5 could be in one of those. Okay, then let's ask the question. Oh, goodness sake. This is just stupidly clever. It's stupidly clever. Where's 6 and 7 in this column? The answer is these two squares. What does that mean? Well, look, there's a 6 or a 7 here. So it sees the whole of the 13 cage. That cannot be a 6, 7 cage. Doesn't matter what this is. Whether it's 6 or 7, it's ruling itself out of the 13 cage and preventing that from having the 6, 7 option. So this is 5, 8. But I can't use that I can't use this to eliminate the 5 from here. Although I do sort of want to. Now that digit, look. Yeah, there's something weird going on in the middle box now, because that cell there, where does that go in the middle box? It's not here because of the king's move constraint. So it's over there where it joins a 4. So this is 4, 6, 7. And this is 6, 7. But it's the same as that one. So these two cells are the same now. Oh, yeah. Right. No. Yeah, well, yes, but no. Yeah, but no, but... Okay, so purple... Where does purple go in box 4? The answer has to be here, and I think that's okay whether or not this is 1, 3, 5, 9 or 2, 3, 4, 9. These two 2x2s don't have the option of being 6 or 7, so I think this logic is sound, and that means this cell is also purple 6, 7. Sort of feel like that might be important, but I can't see how to use it. Purple is down there. Yeah, okay, here's a small point. How could this be green? Well, it can't be. If that's the green 6, 7, you couldn't put the green 6, 7 in those cells because of the king's move constraint. So that means that in this box, the green 6, 7 is in one of those 3 cells. And that means that the green 6, 7 in this box is in exactly this cell, which means that therefore this cell is not green 6, 7, so this is a 4. And therefore this is the green 6, 7, which means this is not the green 6, 7. The green 6, 7 lives in one of these two cells. And I would love to know which way round these go. Is there a way to tell? This is one of those moments where I feel I'm being shouted at. I'm really sorry if this is obvious to people. It's not obvious to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, no, there's nothing. I was wondering whether there was some restriction on this cell, but I don't think that there is. 2, 3, 4. Okay, but have a look at column 5, and especially this cell. That cell sees both green and purple, so it's not 6 or 7. Now, it's not 2 either, this cell. And it's not 2 because there's a 2 in that 2 by 2 and a 2 in that 2 by 2. So the way to think about this is to just note that between these 2 by 2s, all the low digits have been consumed. So this could never be 1, 2, or 3. It can't be 4. There's a 4 in the box. It can be 5, and it is 5, I think, because it's not 6, 7, it's not 8, and it's not 9. So that's 5. Oh, yeah. I see what this is doing. I see what you're doing. So now 5 is not here. This is 8. This is 5, and now I haven't broken it, but I got it wrong. So this is not 1, 3, 5, 9, because there is a 5 in the box that's been proved independently. So this needs to come out and be replaced by its friends over here, the 2, 3, 4, 9. So this needs to be reinstated as 1, 3, 5, 9 over here, and now we can get rid of our greynesses because we've certified the order of the oranges. So now 5 in the middle box can't go there because of King's moveness, so that's a 5. Which means that 5 is not in these cells. 4 is not in these cells. That's an 8. I probably should have... Oh, sorry, yeah, I think that's been there for a while. Look, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 9 quadruple in row 4. So the only place 8 can go in the row is here, which means I've got a 1, 2 pair. In row 5, I can remove 2 from this side, 1 from this side. I've now got a 3, 4, 5, 9 quadruple in the row, so this digit must be known. That is going to be an 8. That's an 8. So now, oh, this is lovely. Now the King's move, look, 8, 8. 8's in one of these two squares in box 4. Well, it can't go next to its friend, the 8 here. So 8's in one of those 3 cells in box 1. 8's got to be in this quadruple, and therefore there's 8 ruling itself out of all of those cells. So this is 8. Now this digit must be known, mustn't it? That's a 1, just by Sudoku. It's the only digit not placed in this box. That doesn't see this cell by the medium of madness that is King's moves. Now we nearly know what these are. These are 2s, 4s, and the green 6, 7. And that means this square... that's not 2. Actually this is nice. This is not 2 because that would put 9 here, and it's not 6, that would put 5 here. So that means this is 4 or 7. It's in an 11 cage, so that's a 4 or a 7. I can't see what that's doing in the column, but I can see that that's preventing this cell from being 4 or 7 now, because of the King's move constraint. It would remove, if this is 4, for example, You now can't put 4 in the 4, 7 cage at all. So we need to remove 4 and 7 from here. And this square can't be 6 or 7 because it sees both colours of 6 and 7. So that square is 2 or 4. And now, for our next trick, we will write green into here. Where does green 6, 7 go in this column? It's got to go exactly there. So now we know what these cells are. And these cells are 1, 5 and 8 by Sudoku. And we've got this little 2 by 2 to worry about. So could this be 8, 5, 1, 2? Maybe, although maybe it could also be 8, 1, 3, 4. If it didn't have an 8 in it, it would be 1, 5. Oh, and it couldn't have an 8 on this side of it, so it would have to be 1, 5, 3, 9. I don't actually see. I can't see what the problem is with all of that. There might be problems, but I'm not seeing what they are. So let's think. Right, so what have we got going on in this column now? Down here we've got to have the digit 2. We've not put that into column 6 yet. So this is a 2 purple combination. So 2. There is definitely a 2 in one of these cells. So there is definitely not a 2 in this domino. Okay, here's a question. Where does 1 go in this row? It can't go in this domino, look, because of this 1. So there is a 1 in one of those 2 cells. Yeah, and I'll play that game again. Where does 2 go in row 7? Because there's a 2 in one of those 2 cells, and you can't put 2 into there. So 2 has to be over on this dot over here. So, is that true? Yes. This is the 2, 3, 4, 9 quadruple. So there's a 2 here and there's a 2 there. So 2 in this column is in one of those cells. Now that means this cell can't be a 2. Because if that cell was a 2, it would rule 2 out of the entire string there by virtue of the king's move constraint. So now we know that there's a 2 on this in this sum. Now, do we have the same issues? Not quite the same, is it? This one is not aligned with these 2. Oh, but that's still good. That's still good. There still has to be a 1 on this string. And that's because if there was not a 1 on this string, this would be 2, 3, 4, 9. And that's going to align with that 2, 3, 4, 9 and force these 3 squares to contain 4 digits, 2, 3, 4 and 9 in column 3. And that doesn't work. So not only do we know there's a 1 in this 2 by 2, we know where the 1 goes because of king's moveness. It goes there. So there's a 1 up here. There's a 1 here by Sudoku. There's a 3, 4 pair here. There's a 1 here by Sudoku. There's a 2 here by Sudoku. There's a 2 there by Sudoku. There's no 2 here by Sudoku, so the 2 in this string is there, and that's knocking 1 onto this string with no 2 into this 2 by 2. And there's a 2 over here. And there's a look at this. Is so beautiful. Honestly, we are so lucky on this channel. Some of the puzzles we get to do, it's just absurd. This has been another week where sort of every single puzzle is just crazy good. So this has got 1 and 2 in it, and it can't add up to 8. Is that useful? So it's either adding up to 6, 7 or 9. Oh, I'll tell you what, the corollary of this not adding up to 8 is that it cannot have a 5 on its dot. So if 5 was on this dot, it would be 5, 1, 2 adding up to 8, and that won't work. So where does 5 go in this box? And the answer is down there. That's the world's most useless deduction ever. Well done, Simon. Okay, but now that cell is restricted, because that can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 now, or 6, 7 or 8. That's a naked single. 9. 9, 9. Tallcat, that was outrageous if that was necessary, because that was definitely making me do Sudoku before I was, well, when I'm about halfway through the puzzle, which is ludicrously unfair. This column now needs 1s, 3s and 4s, look. And that is definitely not a 1, so we might want to colour 3s and 4s in a minute. That is possible, actually. Yeah, I mean, before I do that though, what about this cell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all ruled out. So this is a coloured. This is either purple or green. It's definitely a 6 or a 7, I think. Now, this is right. Beautiful. I am definitely colouring my 3s and 4s because the fact this is a 6 or a 7, then we can consider this 2 by 2 and ask how it adds up. Is this in the sum? I.e., is this a 1 plus 2 plus 6 combination adding to 9? Well, it's not, because there's a 9 in here. So this is the total. Now, if this is the total, this square must be a 3 or a 4 to make the total add up, and therefore it's opposite to this. So what we need to do now is perhaps, I'm just wondering about whether I still need my blues and my oranges. I'm going to risk getting rid of them, I think. So if we do that, we can restore blues and oranges to 3s and 4s. So let's make this one blue and this one orange. So now this one is orange because of the king's move. This one is blue. This one is blue. So there's definitely an orange in this string because there can't be a blue in it. So this is a 1 orange combination. Orange is in one of these two cells by the medium of madness that is colouring. Oh, bobbins, I thought I was going to get it then, but there's a 3 and a 4 in this column, so I don't think I can disambiguate that. Okay, so that's a bit annoying. I thought that was going to go much further once we got this 3, 4 here. It felt like it was really going somewhere, didn't it? But maybe we have to learn what these two are before it's going to really be useful. So these cells are now 5 and whatever this isn't. 5, 6 and 7. So one of these squares is a purple or a green. Oh dear. So now we're stuck. Now we shall instead say okay, I know what we can do. Where do purple and green go in box 1? That's quite an interesting question. Can you put purple or green here? No, surely not, because there's no 2 in this string. So if there's no 2 in this string, it can't possibly be a 6 or a 7 on it, because 6 or 7 couldn't be the total, because 6 needs 1, 2, 3, 7 needs 1, 2, 4, and if we're getting up towards 9, the only way of working that with a 6 or a 7 is if it's 1, 2, 6. So there is no purple or green in here, there's no purple or green in here, so that is purple or green. Which means that this is not purple or green, so that is now a 5. This is not a 5, this is purple or green. So, okay, so purple is now definitely, purple's in one of those two cells, definitely. 5, oh gosh, 5 is in one of these cells. Okay, that cell there has to be a 5 or an 8, because you can't put 5, 8 on the dot, because if you do, you're going to need a 2 on the dot, because it's going to have to be 5 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8. So what's this digit then? This digit is it's not 6, 7, it's not 1, 2, so it's 3, it's 3, 4 or 9. 3, 4 or 9. And this is 6, 7, isn't it? Right, okay, well, I can see something fairly straightforward there. That's not 9, because if that's 9, I can't put 9 in box 1 anymore, I don't think. This can't be, if this is 9, you can't put 9 here because of the king's move, and you can't put 9 in any of those by Sudoku, and those don't seem to have the option of being 9. So this one is whatever else it was a 3, so that's a 3. This is now a 4, 9 pair, which means that this is a 3, 5 pair, which means this is a 1, 9 pair. That's not a 3 now, so there's a 4, so I see, so there's a 4, 9 pair in this column, and that's a 3. And that is orange, which means this is blue. Blue is 4. Here we go, here we go. Now we've got a 1, 3 pair on this dot. We've got a 4 in one of these cells. We've got a 3 in one of those cells. And what's this dot now? It's 1 plus 3. Oh, I see. It could be 5 plus 9. It could be 1, 3, 5, 9, or it could be 1, 3, 4, 8. Oh, that's annoying. Right, but that cell is definitely the 3 cell now, isn't it? So 3 is here, which means, oh no, we already knew that if we'd thought about it. So that's blue. So blue is not here. Oh dear. I think this has died a death again. We've got, there's a modest restriction here on these digits in row 3, because 1 and 9 can't go in here in this domino because of the king's move problem. So 1 is in one of those two cells, which means this cell can't be a 1, because if this was a 1 it would rule 1 out of row 3 altogether. And 9, which also can't be in this domino, is either here or here. So my guess is this prevented from being 9 by the dot? That's the question. If this was 8, that definitely can't be 9. If this is 5, can this be 9? That's the question. If this is 5, let's just have a quick look at this. If this is 5, oh, actually look, that 8 there, see, so if that's 5, that's a 1. So this would have to be a 3 to make this add up to 9, and that might be possible. No, this is lovely. This is it. Right, we've got it. We've got it. Right, so the thing we had to realise is, look, there's a 1, 3 pair here, and there's a 3 in this domino here. In fact, I could tidy that up and make that clearer, but this was a 2, 3, 4, 9 quadruple. So the 3s are aligning, and the 3s in this row are actually in one of those 3 cells. And now you can see that if we make this 9, we're going to need a 3 here, and we can't have one. The 3 is in one of those cells. So this is not 9, and if this is not 9, where does the 9 go in this row? It goes there. So that's 9, that's 9, that's 4. Oh, I see. Okay. So now this 2 by 2 is done, isn't it? Because you can't add up to 9 anymore. So these squares have to involve an 8 and a 4 in order for the maths to work. So this is 4, 8. This becomes 5. This becomes not 5. And we know that's not 8. I just forgot to de-pencil mark it before. So now what have we done? This 4 is giving us the 4 and the 8. That's giving me a 5 here, which gives me an 8 at the top. 8 is in this domino, I want to say. Can't be here by Sudoku. So this total... Right, so hang on, how's this working? This is already adding up to 6, and it can't add up to 8. Oh, but it could be 1, 7, could it? Oh, no, it can't. Okay, it can't be 1, 7. Because if we put the 1 there, which, no, actually, there's many reasons this doesn't work. Amongst them is if you put the 1 there, you can't have a 1 on the other side of it. In fact, when I was doing the example, I didn't realise that, did I? I've only just realised it now. You couldn't have repeated a digit in this on this 2 by 2 because of the king's move constraint. So there we go. We live and learn. Right. So this means this adds up to 9, which means it needs to be a 3, which we know must now be here, and this must be a 9. And therefore that's a 9, and that's a 3, and that's a 3, and that's a 1, and 1 is up here. This is from 2, 6, and 7. This is not got 3 in it. What's this then? We know what these digits are, 4 and 8. Oh, and there's a 4, 7 pair here. So this is 4, this is 8. 8's placed in this box, exactly here by Sudoku. There are 4 8s looking at box 9. 4, that's not 4. And we can... oh, come on, Simon. What is it? What am I missing now? 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. That's one thing I could be missing. 6 and 7 get resolved. 6 goes here. 7 goes here. Well, it doesn't go. I mean, it doesn't go there. Oh, good grief. So that does nothing. Is that really possible? The only good thing about that doing nothing is that those of you who shouted at me about this can take some solace from the fact that it doesn't seem to do anything. At least not now. So what on earth are we missing? Well, let's have a look at row 1. 1s, 5s, 6s and 7s and see what we can eliminate. The answer is 7 from there. This is weird now. I'm now wondering what else I've missed. This row. 1, 4, 6, 7. Problem with this is that nothing really is... Well, that's not a 4. Oh, I see, yes. Well, that can't be 7 because it would rule 7 out of those. So this is 1 or 6. This is quite interesting. Look, that cell doesn't seem to be able to be purple. No, it's not purple. Yeah, so this cell sees purple and green, so that's not 6 or 7. So this is 1 or 4. This is now getting very peculiar indeed. I've got a bad feeling about this. 2, 5 and 7. No, this is still not... okay, no, hang on. That's not 7. So this is 2 or 5. Am I going crazy, or is there nothing here? Oh, goodness me. What have I done wrong here? 2, 3, 6, 9. Oh, good grief. Right, it's this cell. This cell, from the row, this has got to be 2, 3, 6 or 9 into this cell. It sees 3, 9, and it sees 2 by virtue of the king's move. So this square is a 6. And that fixes this cell, and that fixes this cell, and that fixes... So 6 is green. Oh my goodness. And therefore 7 is purple. And therefore that's a 4. This is a 7. This is a 2. This is a 6. This is a 1. This is a 4. And now it seems to be going again. Good grief. That is... What a puzzle. What a puzzle this is. 5, 2. 2 goes here. So that's C7, so that must be 6, which fixes my 6, 7 over on the left. I'll figure out the colours in a minute or two. Now this is now 1, 5, 7. That can't be 1. This must be done, and it's 1. So that's 5, that's 7. That, whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. That's 5, that's 3, that's 3. Not in the corner. 9 goes in the corner, 9 and 1. And there we... Oh, hang on, I haven't fixed my colours. So I won't click tick yet, because it would be sacrilege to do that. Let's get rid of the yellowness. I can't do it. Get rid of the yellownesses. Go orange to all the 3s. We need to go... Get rid of that. We need to fix the 6 is a green, isn't it? And the 7 is purple. 6 is green, 7 is purple. 7 is purple down here. 7, whoopsie. 7 is purple here. 4 is definitely not anything, I don't think. So something like this, although I haven't highlighted all the greens, haven't highlighted all the purples. Haven't highlighted all the 4s, actually. There we go. Something like that. Yay! Just under an hour. I don't think that's that bad for that puzzle. I really don't. It is just... That's wonderful. Plain and simple wonderful. Tallcat, I think that might be the very best of the puzzles I've done by you. And let me tell you that there is almost no higher praise I can give somebody than that. That is quite stunning. It is so beautifully executed. And I think... I don't want to big myself up here, but I think I almost understand how you had the idea to make this. Just let me know in the comments how you've got on with this. I am going to be intrigued, because I think those of you who've understood this idea about low digit disposition amongst this cross shape are going to be in paroxysms of joy about this. Loved it. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.